What did
You
you
there?
notice? What did you notice in the videos?
Oh, I noticed that you look like um, you just look well rested, and you look like you're on top of your game today.
Oh, well, I did this. I did this energy healing, and she like I said, I mean, I guess I just chose to believe it, right? Where she like rearranged my energy, and like
Right.
any other person's energy that was like stuck on my energy, she like removed. And I mean, I was like crying
Right.
and like trembling during it. It was
Right.
such a weird
Yeah.
experience.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Right.
But when I
Yeah.
left, I felt like I was floating. Like, it
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
was
Yeah.
so weird.
I'm gonna have to try that. I'm working on just that made me think of it's time for me to maybe take a little trip just by myself, which I've
Yeah.
never done.
Well, I love that you're saying that, because I was going to like kind of talk a little bit tonight, like just to suggest like planning a little adventure, like whether it's
Right.
half a day or a day or overnight. It
Right.
doesn't have to be like big, but
Hmm.
it was, I mean, I travel, but it was the first time I was like by myself.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, it was just like, I was surprised how much I needed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like,
I can I can tell a big difference though. Mhm.
so weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what about you though? I'm missing your
I'm
face, but I totally get that you don't know the video, sis. So
Well, I don't know if the webcam's working or not. I don't know. But I'm doing good. It's kind of like me when you mentioned the Aaron Stutland last week. I
yes,
think there's a delay.
she's starting
Okay.
this.
And I didn't know about the challenge, the free challenge week thing, the speak it, yeah. And so I signed up for that, and at first that repeating the mantras and all that, I thought, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But it makes a big difference. I tried it this morning in my car right before I went to work. And I could tell a big difference. I was like, wow, maybe there is something to this.
I know what you mean. I feel bad because there's a delay, so I'm like worried to
Yeah.
talk. But
Mhm.
yes, I totally think it makes a difference.
Yes, it
I
does.
oh, I'm I
Mhm.
I got hooked on her videos, and I by the end I don't work like, I'm not like, oh, I love exercise. By the
Right.
end I was like, I am like I was like, woo!
Yeah. And today, it was like it had me pumped up that I listened to her on the way to work, a little bit of that. And then we're not supposed to have our cell phones, but I have it in my pocket. I went to the bathroom and I sat on the toilet and listened to you a little bit.
Oh, that's the best alone time.
So I went back and forth between you and her all day, just trying because it was a stressful day at work. So between you and her, I went back and forth all day.
No, but I love that. And I think that that's part, I love that you said that, Deb, because I feel, Deborah, like, I feel like that's part of the journey, is surrounding yourself by that kind of like whatever energy, and like personal development, and exploring different, because the more you hear it, the more you surround yourself with it, the more it's reality, right? And the less the
Yeah,
voices,
right.
those negative voices, or people who are, feeling down or whatever. It's like, it's not judging them. It's just saying like, I don't choose that anymore. Right. Like, I don't choose
Right.
that anymore.
Right.
And so like, it's so crucial to change your environment. And I always go back to that one powerful example where I was moving to Costa Rica and everyone told me I was crazy and I felt crazy and I started to doubt myself. And then I had a friend tell me, post in this business group and ask if anyone else has ever wanted to live abroad. And I had 382 responses.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I went from crazy to normal, depending on which environment I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned a huge lesson, which was I get to choose my environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what you did today. You chose your environment.
Well, I think that's my main focus is to cut out negativity. Because I was raised in a negative household and my mother is still very negative. So I'm trying to stop that, you know. I feel like negativity is most of my upbringing. So I'm really trying to change that for my kids.
Yeah. And the thing is that she may not perceive herself as negative.
No.
You know, and that's okay, you know. But you can still choose your choices and your environment, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So is there anything more that we can do to support you in creating that? Is there any situations or conversations you might need to have or things that you feel scared to change that you want to change to kind of, or suggestions that you need to create that positive environment?
Avenue. Mm-hmm. I think the main thing right now, the only main problem I think the mantras and everything is going to help me is I have a problem journaling, and I've even go back to even to the food journal that you're talking about. I think it's lesson 7. I'm still having a hard time with that because I still look at it. It's like a diet.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's my question: freedom mindset. Do you think you need it?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
Okay, because just because I suggest it doesn't mean you have to do it, right? Like I give my job is to guide as much as I can in this sense that, sorry, I don't know how to mute the background noise.
Okay.
So my job is to give you, so I've worked with so many clients, right, since 2005. And so I want to give that whole, like, just like the timed meals, not everybody needs the timed meals. Not everybody's snacking and grazing. Some people are getting hunger cues and they don't need that. The same thing with the journaling. So the question is, what is drawing you to the journaling? Is it just that you feel like it's something you haven't done? Or do you think that there's something to it and we just need to find a new way for you to do it?
I'm not sure yet. I'm wondering if it's the mentality. I'm thinking I'm dieting because I look at it, I'm thinking, okay, I ate too much today or I didn't eat enough today. By the end of the day, that's my mindset. So I don't know if I need to change my mindset at the end of the day and just.
Well, I'm not always a big proponent of writing down everything you ate. Like you can just write down breakfast and you can just check in with your emotions, your hunger and fullness, what's going on, use it as accountability to try to address how you're feeling. You know what I mean? Like you don't always have to use it in that sense.
Right.
But I feel like something's drawing you to it. So,
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
I don't care. You want to throw it out? Throw it out.
I do think I need to stay with the emotions part of why am I eating this or because I'm not hungry. You know, I still have to work with that, you know.
I mean, do you usually work on do you carry your iPhone around? what do you work on? Like if I created a fillable PDF that was just like, you know, you could fill in your emotion, like your hunger and fullness,
Right.
whatever, but it had nothing to do with food. Like I don't,
Right.
is that, would that be something you'd use, or you can't even really access that?
I didn't think about that. I could probably put that something like that in my phone, because I
Okay.
have my phone with me all the time.
I have my VA. I sent her the outline. She was creating it. I'm waiting for it to come back. As soon as it comes back, I will post it in the group.
Okay.
And in the meantime, what I can do is post the questions, like if that would help. But I think it's a matter of finding the right questions for you. And like, do you need to keep them in the notes section of your iPhone? Or, you know, like what, you know, where you just go in and you say, okay, my goal is just every time before a meal to go into the notes section of my iPhone and answer these questions.
Yeah, that's probably more like it. I mean, maybe I just need to do it and not worry about the food and just deal with the emotion.
Okay, here's where I care about the food.
Okay.
I will tell you. This is where the food would be helpful.
Right.
If you are judging your meal, if you are worried that you're eating too much and you're upset about it and you want to process it, I want to talk about it.
Okay.
If you are getting hungry and you are feeling like I shouldn't be hungry because of what I ate, I'm confused, and you want to talk about it, then I care. Basically it's just those two things. So if you are feeling frustrated with the meals, like I should be satisfied, I shouldn't be hungry so quick, I shouldn't, you know, I feel like I'm eating too much, or like you're worried about that, great, we need to process it. But other than that, you know what a meal is, you know, you know what I mean? Like I don't need to tell you that. That's why and it's never gonna come up in this program where I say, like the only time we ever then talk about like in the fine tuning is when someone really is like an intuitive eater. They're feeling really good about their eating. They're not binging. They're working on their emotions, and they feel ready. Like, okay, I just want more energy, right? So they want to start experimenting with things that they used to only do for weight loss. Like, I want to have a green smoothie because I want to see how it feels. I want to see if it gives me more energy, not because I have to have a green smoothie and I'm not allowed to have an omelet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they kind of get to that phase.
Right.
And that's where I said, like, paleo, vegetarian, vegan, you know, there's so many different, they can be a lifestyle. Like, this feels really good to me, I love eating this way. Or it could be a diet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, that's why I said you have to neutralize your relationship with food to even know what kind of lifestyle you want.
Right.
You know?
That makes sense. I think sometimes I'm wondering if I'm just making it harder than it is.
Well, in what way? Why does it feel hard? Like,
I think it's like I need to learn that it's what I like is a preference. Like, you know, I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes I feel guilty for eating, you know, the little breads, the thin breads. I forgot what they're called. The sandwich thins.
Pitas?
Yeah. No, they're like the round things. The wheat thin breads. Anyway, because I'm thinking, okay, I'm focusing on the dieting again. Okay, so but I prefer that.
Okay. So no. I'm so glad you said that. Yeah.
So I'm trying to not feel guilty that I do like some diet foods. It's weird to think about that because I'm like.
No. Okay. All right. Let me clarify. So there's different phases, right? There's different phases of intuitive eating. So the first phase, right, is like we have to get rid anything that you associate with a diet that you only ate to lose weight, whatever. We just eliminate it.
Right. Yeah.
But you're right. It is a common response in the phases to then say, ooh, like now that I am addressing my emotions, I'm starting to work on my confidence, I am allowing myself foods, I'm, you know, all of this stuff, right? I I'm craving a salad. I'm craving wheat thins. And then
Right.
it's confusing because
Mm-hmm.
it feels like, oh, maybe I just want to eat that. No, no, no. Like that actually is success. That is like the full circle, which is where it's like if it's like you crave it, you eat it, you
Mm-hmm.
feel satisfied by it, and it doesn't leave you feeling deprived.
Right.
I don't care if it's a burger or a salad.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
good. Because
Yeah.
your natural tendency, when you eliminate the diet world,
Uh-huh.
the natural tendency is to want foods that make you have more energy, sleep
Yeah.
better, are good for your digestion, right? Like it's not
Right.
like nothing about what I do is about you always have to choose the cheesecake and you always have to have the fried food to prove that you can have it. When you
Right.
mentally know you can have it, you can walk by a cheese board, you can walk by a dessert board, and you're like, eh.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, ooh, but you can also be like, I so just don't want this right now.
I think I'm really getting to that point, and I think that's why because I'm getting to that point, it causes confusion, and that's why I say I'm putting too much thought into it. I mean, they opened a new store here, and I couldn't wait to go check it out, and they have a wonderful bakery area. Oh, and I thought, well, okay, maybe a donut, but I looked at the donuts, and I'm like, nah, I really don't want them. Then I was thinking, I was putting too much thought into it. I should have just said, no, I really don't want a donut. Let's go on, get what I need to get.
Right.
Right. So I think what it is, I just need to trust myself.
Yeah. You need to trust yourself and you can't make a wrong decision.
Right.
Because if you leave there and you felt like, oh, I wish I got that donut, you know what? You can go drive back. You can
Right.
go tomorrow. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And if you eat something and then you're like, oh, I really just ate that because I felt like I needed to prove it. I didn't want it. Now you know for next time. Like you can't make a wrong decision if you
Right.
judge it.
Mm-hmm.
If you simply just open yourself up to learn, you're good. So like, green juice, salads, like grilled chicken, like fish, like awesome. If
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If you love it and you feel good on it and it's not like you don't feel deprived, most of the time when you were binging, it was partly the restriction, but there was a lot of emotional deprivation.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that totally.
So,
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's just that natural like distrust tendency to look for rules, like if I'm doing it right. But I think that it sounds like you're in the awesome phase where if you move past this, yeah, like I still have my ups and downs, but
right.
but you can move through them faster. You can always reach out. So just don't doubt yourself. Say, do I feel satisfied?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Right. Right. That's what I need to do. I need to stop questioning myself. And that goes back to the negativity of the way I was raised. And like you said, it's not easy to face certain emotions in the food. And I think that's another thing I'm dealing with, but I feel better. I'm doing better.
Yeah, I mean, every time you come on a call and you talk about it, I see you moving through the phases. So I would just love for you to spend the next 3 weeks just like go all out, fully embracing, trusting yourself, knowing that you can't make a mistake and we are all here for you. And yeah.
Yeah.
And go to Sedona and get crystals like later.
Which I've never been past Texas, so I would love to go in that part of the country.
Oh, gosh, I was like, love. So Dee Dee and Ronnie, you guys, I don't know if you were on, so we were talking about how she was thinking she needed a little adventure. And I was like, oh, I feel like well, Dee Dee, you've had a couple adventures, but I feel like and Dee Dee and I talked about planning a retreat for all of us to go on, but I think like, it would be fun to like plan a little half day or full day or overnight adventure, and all of us. Ronnie had her wellness retreat, but something just different and out of the blue, because I think I was reminded when I was in Sedona, like getting out of your comfort zone, like totally blows your mind. So yeah. So get back to us, Deborah, and let us know what you plan.
Okay, I will.
Ronnie or Dee Dee, do you guys want to check in? How are you guys doing? I don't know who's muted and who's not. I'll unmute Dee Dee.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh.
My glowing friend. How's it going?
I had a really hard weekend and kind of had a hard time with food.
So what was going on? I'm not smiling because you had a hard time with food.
I smile about everything. So I don't know. I think I was just really stressed out about work, maybe. So I got this email, like I'm behind on everything in work right now. And there were a bunch of trainings that were overdue. And I guess they're really cracking down on people about getting their training done. And so my manager sent out this email to our team at about like 3:00 Friday afternoon. And he's like, get your trainings done this afternoon or do them over the weekend, because starting Monday, the vice president of the company is going to start calling people who aren't done. So like all weekend I was stressed because I didn't get it done, and I didn't take time to do it over the weekend because I was trying to, do stuff that you recommended and, set some boundaries. And so like the whole weekend I was stressed, and then I came in this morning and did my trainings and no one ever called me, and I was like, I was like upset about this all weekend for nothing. And
okay, but is it a negative thing, or was it the universe sending you another lesson to remind your beautiful soul that you're okay to set these boundaries?
Well, I'd like to believe it's what you just said.
Can you just decide to believe that?
Yes, I believe it.
Like, think about our amazing conversation on Friday, which so many people benefited from who listened to it, right? And that was a hard conversation for you. It was not easy. And then you just got it thrown right after we talked about it. It was almost like immediately you got it thrown right back at you.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's okay. You stressed out about it. You set your boundaries, but you carried the guilt, right? So you were strong. You chose the strong choice, but you still carried the guilt, but then it was fine. So can we just say, okay, so then that's a phase. So for the next time, I'm going to set my boundary and I'm going to remember this, and I'm not going to let it. It's not like I'm going to enjoy and be like, right? Like, what did I say when I was in Sedona, which I was like, I felt so guilty. I could choose to stay guilty the whole time, or I could choose to say, I'm choosing this, so why not go all in on my choice, right? And so like maybe the next, instead of saying, it's like, okay, so the next time I'm going to go all in on my choice. You know what I mean? Like, and trust that it's going to work out. And if it doesn't work out, I'm not scared of the consequence, because I was right. You were right. What is it? Their fear factor to try to get you to work when it's not work time is on them. You were right.
Yeah. I've just been brainwashed into thinking that, I have to get everything done when they say it has to be done.
That's okay. You can cry and let it out. Like, it's part of the process. I'm fine with that. And I'm not here to make you feel bad for feeling that way. I understand that. But I don't think you're as far away from being unlearned of that than you think you are, I guess is my thing.
Well, I guess the thing that's frustrating to me is I ate over it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I just like slipped back, into my old
Okay,
pattern.
hold on. Let me get a piece of paper. Hold on. I'm going to make you feel so much better. You can still cry and you can still be frustrated and let it out, and we support you, and I don't want to take that away from you at all, but I'm going to get a piece of paper. Hold on.
Okay.
We so love you and support you. Okay. This is so not okay, ready? So this was what before the program. I don't know if you see that, right? But it was like symptom use, dip, right? Like symptom use, symptom use, symptom use. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we start the program, and hold on. Okay. All right. So here's you, right, before the program. So it's like symptom use and like daily, right? Then we were like dredging up a lot of crap, right? So it was like, right? It was not like it was more, but it felt more intense, right? Do you remember that phase? Okay.
Yeah.
Then it was like symptom use, a lull, symptom use, a lull, symptom use, a lull, right? So what we're doing is we're extending the time. Oh, there's still symptom use. It's just that do you see the line? Yeah. It's not a diet. It's not. This is not the goal. I have really shitty days too. It's okay. You're allowed.
Okay.
You didn't fail. Like you're so moving forward. I don't know if you follow my public business page, but did you see my live on swimming?
No.
So I did one on swimming. My daughter swims.
Mm-hmm.
And I said like how swimming relates to the diet binge cycle. And one of my 5, like, cause I was like, oh my gosh, like talk about life teaching us, right? Like it was so many things. But one of the main things that stood out to me was her best time every meet. So if her time increases, right? Like she doesn't because you want to decrease when you're swimming. Mm-hmm. When she increases, if she has a day that's harder, it doesn't follow her. At the next event, her time is based on her best time every time.
Oh, wow.
Her down days never erases her best day.
Huh.
But how quickly we are to negate our best days. Utah, the pink car, right? All of those days for that. Negated. Done.
Yeah.
It's like they don't exist, but they do exist. So I would love for you to like take on the swimming mentality. Like you don't get to take away my best day because I had a down day.
Mm.
So you're like here, which is kind of like amazing because you were here and here.
Okay.
But do you want to get it out? Do you want to get the judgment out? What did it feel like? What did the negative talk feel like? Do you want to work through it?
Oh, well, yeah. So I think the first thing I probably thought was I'm never going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing I thought is this program's going to be over in 3 weeks and I'm never going to be able to do it by myself. I think that's the one that really scares me.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
But guess what?
What?
I'm not going anywhere. I never leave.
Really?
Yeah.
So I can call you if I need to?
Yeah. You're not alone. You're never going to be alone. I think it's normal to feel that way. You know who I would love for you to set up a one-on-one call with about that?
Yeah.
Aside from me. Valerie. Because she went through that. She started
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's a good time to evaluate what you think you're going to need instead of like with the diet, right? I get it. The diet is like you're on, you're off. You're on Weight Watchers, you lose the weight, you get to the weight, you're off. Like, see ya, right? And so it's normal to kind of have those responses. I will tell you, when it comes to personal development and spiritual, mental, physical growth, choose to be a student for life. Whether it's staying on with me, whether it's finding someone else, you know what I mean? Like, don't go back to where you were. You can never go back to where you were because you've started to feel how amazing it is to move out of it. So choose to be a student for life. Whatever that looks like for you, choose to be a student. And if you want to grow a business like you do, you absolutely, I am a student for life. I am not the expert. I'm not. I'm here. I can guide people, but you played 50% of the role in your growth because you showed up with an open heart and you allowed that transformation to happen. I only met you halfway. That's all I did. I take no credit for it. And someone who didn't have transformation, I don't feel bad about because they didn't come with an open heart, right? Like it takes two. It's equally me and equally you. It's the same as Deborah was talking about. It's like that distrust in yourself. I think that's where it comes from.
Mm.
But I have not done anything except show up and help you process. You've done the work. You have. But I'm also not going anywhere.
Okay.
But I think it's normal to feel that way. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. Like, it's like that countdown and it's over and I'm not going to have that. But you don't have to choose that. If you think you need more, support, that option is there for you. If you just want to know that you can send me an email and I'll respond, that will always happen. If you think, you know what I mean? Like Valerie continued on with me for 2 months after because she felt like scared, but she quickly realized she was fine. And that's okay too. You know what I mean? But now she works for me. Now she works with me, which is always an option too. So, because I only work with those who have went through the program, but there's so many options. You're never alone. Okay. I'm not going to shut down the group and take everybody out.
Okay.
Does that make you feel better?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I just have, this is a lifelong quest of you never being alone.
Okay.
Because you need that connection. You know you need that connection.
Yeah. That's true.
So can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Do you forgive yourself for the food this weekend?
Yes.
Like forgive and let go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I believe you. Cheers.
Oh,
I'll cheers you with my water. See, I practice what I say. I drink out of fancy glasses.
nice.
Simple luxury. They're plastic, but how cute are they?
Awesome.
Do you need to talk about anything about the boundary thing with work? Or, I mean, I know it's not so simple. Like, right, I'm not going to blink my eyes and you're going to be okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's just like an ongoing process with me to remember, that I have boundaries and that I have other things in life that I want to do, and I just keep reminding myself that, and, I'll do so this is kind of what I was thinking about is when I'm at work, I want to be all at work. Like I want to be all in my 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
But then when I'm not, I want to be all in the rest of my life, Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Because you want it. You're not setting a goal of I have to do it. That's what you want. You're declaring what you want. It's very different.
Yeah. Good point.
Because when you declare what you want, it becomes easier to create it. People follow suit, right? Like you said to me on Friday, like, they're not going to fire. Like my last fear is that they're going to fire me.
Yeah.
And I know that feeling because I had it at the eating disorder clinic. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good because you want to give all of it. But when you start to realize that like a hermit crab outgrows its shell, you've outgrown that experience.
Yeah.
It makes it much easier to just say it's not good for my health and it's a transition and I need to move on.
Yeah.
I don't think you're afraid of loss. I think you're afraid of how powerful and how much you can actually do. I think
Thank you, Bella.
I think that scares you a little bit.
Really? Oh, sometimes it gives me so much joy to think about that. Like I loved last week how you said go what if up instead of what if down.
Yeah.
Because like my tendency is to like, I'm thinking about what if, and pretty soon I'm like living in the ditch and I've lost my home and my job and I don't have any food. And I sleep under a cardboard box, I mean, when I go what if down, I go all the way down. So that's one of the things I was trying to do this weekend is just go what if up, What if I do go on Oprah? What if I do a TED Talk? What if I do
here's another one. Here's another Oprah moment.
Okay.
Why not me? Somebody's got to sit on her couch. The girl doesn't just make money like with nobody, right?
Yeah.
Why not me?
Mm. I'm gonna have to put that one on my fridge.
Why not me?
Yeah.
People start businesses every day. Why not me?
Mm.
It
Oh,
will
so true.
change your life. You know, like so I was like, I can't travel. I can't do this. I can't do this. And then when I was like, I want to do this. How can I do this? It's not that hard. You go online, you book a plane ticket. Right? It's not that hard. We make it so much harder. Why do we do that? The process is actually pretty simple.
Oh, yeah. So true.
So, what if up, but also why not me?
Okay.
Because nobody else's light is more special than yours. We're all equal. It's just that they have a different gift. So you have a gift, right? Like I can write a book about self-love and you can write a book about self-love. Like I'm not saying I'm going to, but I could write a book about self-love. You could write a book about self-love and both could be bestsellers. Right? Like,
yeah,
it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
There's room for it. Like I'm a dietitian. There's how many dietitians, right? I'm not going to not do what my message because there's other people in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And I also believe that that will attract the people that need us,
well, that's abundance. And that's the abundance mentality. Instead of lack, there's so much. Everybody does this. Everybody's on a diet. Everybody tells me I can't, right? That's lack. Abundance says, why not me? And honestly, the difference between the people who are doing amazing things in the world, and amazing things meaning for some people, amazing things is staying home and volunteering and being really present with their family and giving them their all. For some people, amazing things is traveling or writing a book or starting a business, right? Amazing things is different for everybody. That's okay. But the only difference is like that abundance. There's enough for everybody. There's enough love for everybody. There's enough friends for everybody. But it might not be the friends you have now. I think that's the hard part. Like who you surround yourself with might not be who you're meant to be surrounded by.
Yeah.
But if you don't so here's the part about letting go. This is really important. So I hope you guys take this in. When you let people go who you don't want in your life, you're freeing them to find the right people so that you can open the door for the right people to come to you. You're not being selfish. You're not being rude. You're not being mean. You are free. They're entitled to their feelings around it, but you are setting them free to find what they need to find. And you're opening yourself up, all of that energy, for the people who are meant to be there, who are going to just rise you up. Right? You don't want to be around, here's you, here's the people. This is not who you want to be around. You want to be around people who you feel like, maybe I shouldn't. They're too, happy. That's who you want to be around. That's who you deserve to be around. So they can lift you up. It's okay. You're allowed to be lifted up. Not take up space. So you want okay, when I was growing up, I used to say everyone stayed friends with their friends from high school. They stayed in town. They stayed friends. what's wrong with me? Like I left, I didn't stay in touch with everybody because that's all I could judge against. Like, right? Comparison. I had like, that's all I had in my repertoire of like experiences. But then I started meeting people who were in business and traveling a lot. And they would say, you're not meant to stay friends with everyone forever. Like, you constantly want to be making new friends so you can learn new experiences and grow and like be exposed to new things. And I'm like, I kind of like that idea. Like, it doesn't mean throwing people away. I'm always there, but right, like hermit crabs outgrow their shell. So I think that your shell has reached its max. I think you're ready for a new shell.
Okay.
And that it's not a negative thing, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's just, I think, so one of the things I realized this weekend too is like how negative my family is. You know, but you know, so like I don't want to outgrow them, but I also don't want to be around them because I don't know. Like I had lunch with my little brother and I just got so frustrated with him because like our whole family is like this diet fat phobe mentality, right? And so his little skinny 10-year-old daughter who won't eat anything except pizza and cookies and brownies was like asking something about whether pizza was good for you or not. And I was, so I'm trying to be like all intuitive eating. Oh yeah, you know what? Pizza's not bad for you. No food is bad. And my brother goes, that is so not true. And I'm like, oh no, you know, and I didn't want to argue with him in front of his kids, but I'm, you know, so.
But the thing is right, is change your perspective or change your circumstance. And so you can always just say, you know, so you look, you know, you say what you want, or you can say whatever you think, you know, or just ignore it and change the subject, whatever you have to do to get through, like, you know, those things. It's not like I don't think you want to shun your family, right? Like, I think that you love your time with them. But you can all, part of love is setting boundaries. You're allowed to set boundaries so that the time that you have with them, you can enjoy it the most.
So are you saying like in a situation like that, just to not even talk about food? I
always say, okay, do you want peace or do you want to be right?
Yeah. Okay.
Your job, like, oh, here, you know, I do this work for a living, right? Mm-hmm. There are people who think that it's not help. You know, I'm going to get a lot of that negativity, or like I'm hurting people, telling them cake is okay. You know, like people have different opinions, right? Mm-hmm. I get that. But it's not my job to convince every person in the world. It's simply my job to show up and speak with all the confidence of the world so that those who say, I want that, come to me. And the rest, not my problem. Even if they tell me I suck, or who the fuck are you, and I get that. I do get that. I'm not going to lie. But it's not my job. I focus on you. I focus on Deborah. I focus on Ron. I focus on that. A person sitting at home who wants this message, who is like, thank God, there's another answer and I don't have to live in this hell anymore. That's who I focus on. So you can come at me all you want, but I'm focused on you and Ronnie and everybody. That's all my focus. And that's why the visions were there. Whether it's what you want or how you want to live your life, it's like, I want you to hyper focus on that, because you are going to get haters. You are going to get people who say stuff like that. They don't want to learn. They don't want an answer. It's okay. It's okay. That's part of like the bricks, right? Like letting it go. They don't need to see the light. You saw the light. You saw the light. You want that. You want to live your life that way, and it's your life. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. We have one. Maybe we have more. I'd love to believe that, but I don't know. And I don't remember past lives. So even if this is my one life here, right? Like I'm not going to remember it.
Okay.
Does it make sense, or am I just like preaching?
No, yeah, I think it does make sense, because, I think you're following your heart when you say that. You can't convince everybody, but you can convince the people that you were here to convince, like us.
And that's the thing, I didn't need to convince. You wanted that message. You are meant to have it. You're meant to live a life with that message. I'm just a messenger. I'm not someone special. You know what I mean? Like, I just live this life, and you want this life, and you're meant for this life, or you wouldn't be called to me. And so you're going to live this life, and it's going to inspire you to send a message to other people in some way or shape or form. Right? And so that is what inner peace and calm is. It's like, I know what I want. I know how I want to live. And it's not my job to convince everybody. It's my job to know that this is what I want. And if I have to set boundaries, I have to set boundaries. If they're open and they want to talk, hell, I'm open. Right? Like,
yeah.
does it make sense, or yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I just think that you guys are on the cusp of that. So I think it's important to know that you are going to be surrounded with people who still have their diet opinions and all of that stuff. And there's nothing you can do to change it. I had a good friend, and I'm not trying to scare you. It's just fact. Like, I had a really good friend that when I lived in New Jersey, I left, I went to Costa Rica, I started my business, I started talking about it all the time on Facebook. And he said, your self-importance has blinded you, like, to real life. And I was like, it didn't affect me. Like, I was just like, wow, I guess I've changed that much that I can't relate to this person anymore. And they're getting angry at me because I'm changing so much. So I had to like defriend him and let it go. And not because I hate him or I'm angry at him. It's just because we're so different now. And I don't think that I'm so into myself. I think that I stand up for myself and what I believe in. I just don't stop, I guess is what my point is. keep going and trust yourself and don't think you have to convince everybody. You can still love your family. Like, you can laugh it out. You can be like, okay, bro, yeah, pizza's awful. Right? All right. Are you soaking?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're soaking it in, or do you have more to go ahead? Like, I don't want there to be any confusion. So if you're feeling like, but.
Oh, no, there are no buts. I agree 100%. I think my struggle is, I don't know. I feel like I'm not confident enough to, like, if someone had told me I'm so full of self-importance, that would have crushed my soul. I would have been like, oh. And I don't know how to recover from something like that.
I'm not saying it to scare you. I just share, like, just because the more I want you to get to that point, like where, okay, let me rephrase it in another way, right? Because we need to talk about it in different ways sometimes to hit people. Let me think about this. Do you believe that your work in this program is how you want to live your life?
Yes, 110%.
110%. Okay. Do you have any regrets about joining the program?
No.
Do you believe that your life moving forward, whatever it looks like, is going to be better because of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So when your brother says pizza is bad, or somebody says you think you're so self-important, does it matter?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Oh. That's a good question.
And Dee Dee, I don't think you're alone. That's why I'm asking. Like, I think that that's what's holding a lot of people back. I think a lot of people share, because I saw Deborah like nodding. I don't know how Ronnie feels. Ronnie, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think you're alone.
I think it is a difficult thing to do, but I think I've done it at multiple stages in my life. And fortunately for me, I've been able to keep most of those people, and we just, have our differences of opinion on certain subjects. But I wouldn't give up what I wanted for someone else.
Why? For you, why?
For me, because I think I'm pretty well grounded in my values, and I like to take advantage of opportunities, and if that's how I view it and that's how I determine it, I don't think I should let someone else step in the way of that.
Because when you did, what happened? Because you did live that way at a point, right? So.
Well, I wasn't well. I really love what you just said, Karen, about you're freeing the other person too. Because this last relationship with my husband, I mean, we became worlds apart,
Right.
and we just were not right for each other. And it became more and more obvious. And some of it wasn't just personality, it was exactly what you're saying. It was what his desires were versus what my desires
Exit
were.
33 is on the right.
And they
then
didn't
the
mesh
left turn.
together. So, but it's very painful. But you get to the side.
Right. Would you agree that with each experience though, like you start to move through it quicker each time, the more you realize that that's where it's going?
Yes, I do think that. And I want to tell you one strange experience I had this week.
Yes, we want to hear your strange experience.
So one day I looked in the mirror and I thought, hey, you're looking pretty good. And, I thought I was all great. And the very next day, I looked in the mirror and I thought I really looked like hell. And then at least I had this presence of mind to just stand back and say, so what's the deal here?
In 2 miles,
like,
exit
I don't look terrific one day and like hell the next day for no reason. And it kind of just made me realize that, it's really all in your perspective. It probably had really nothing to do with so much exactly how I looked as with how I felt. And so I was asking myself, so what is this about? And just made me realize, like, every day is a different day, and you got to kind of try to keep your temperament level.
I think you just nailed it, Ronnie. Like, I feel like that's like so it. Like, we want to identify with our problems, but like, I'm sure you didn't see it. I know you're so busy with work and whatever, but I did a Facebook Live where it was like, how are we one day feeling on top of the world? Like, yeah, I got this. Like, and then like the next day or an hour later, like, what am I doing? Whatever. Nothing changed. Our weight's the same. We look the same, but like we can look in the mirror and be like, I got this. And then we can look in the mirror and be like, oh, like what's going on? And it's like changes, but nothing really has changed. The only thing that has changed is up here. And I think that I think you're right. I think you nailed it.
And it was so shocking to me to just realize that. And I said, oh my gosh, all these weeks. And it's all paid off. Like, I'm getting it.
But because you've been doing the work. I mean, you've been very committed to your personal journey. It's been, all of you guys are so inspiring. You're inspiring to me. I mean, you're what inspires me to keep going and challenging myself and pushing myself. It's both ways. And I'm just in awe. So it makes me happy. So we need to all go on a retreat together.
Exit.
Just saying.
In 1 mile, exit.
And I'll get more fancy glasses for our water. That was awesome. I'm so glad you shared that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But otherwise, you're doing okay, or did you want to process anything, or?
No, I'm doing okay, and I think taking this class, this graduate class that I'm taking it was a big decision for me, and now more than ever, I realize so much why I only wanted to audit it and not do it for credit, but the only way I was allowed to take it was to do it for credit. So now,
Exit 1A is on the right, and then left turn.
the main thing now is that I'm on a team in this, and we have to do this team project. So there's no way I would let my team down. So now I'm going to have to put in a little more double time to do that. But it's also, same kind of thing. It's made me realize, okay, I made this decision this time, but now I know that I don't really want to work this hard at doing these things anymore.
Right. And I think that that's what I love about you, and I hope that the group also takes away from you is like you have commitments and you're sometimes overcommitted and whatever. You still show up for the calls, you still do the work, you can reevaluate, right? You can drop it the next time. Like you can take on less like next semester. Your future doesn't ride just on how you're doing it. So I love how you're not identifying with it. Like I'm not an overcommitter. I'm seeing what I do and do not want. And I'm going to take away the stuff I don't want.
Right.
And it's also towards your vision board, which you said last time.
It's what?
You said, like, it's so not what you want, but it's also a step towards your vision board.
Right, and it is. And, my school right now, they're actually doing a new strategic plan, and this is all about the IT plan. So it got right into what I need to do. So it is giving me a lot of broader understanding. So
make a legal U-turn ahead.
I needed to do it. I just didn't want to do it for credit.
270 south.
So
we'll be cheering for the next one. Audit, audit, audit.
So, and Dee, my entire family thinks I'm crazy to still be going to school at 65 years old. So
I think it's so inspiring.
They say, we thought you're done going to school. And I said, well, something came up. I'm not. But they all think I'm totally insane.
But that's what we love about you. And you're showing your grandchildren life just starts at 65.
Make a legal U-turn ahead.
Wow. I feel like maybe our retreat should be at your graduation. We'll all show up.
Funny.
Well, I am proud of you. I know we're all proud of you.
I'm just to see where I need to be.
Yeah. I hope that you're going home and not to class right now.
No, I was leaving my class when this started. We actually got out early. I usually don't get out to 9, but I had to drive to DC for a meeting tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So almost to my hotel.
Oh, okay. Well, we are glad to accompany you to your hotel.
Yes, it made my drive go very quickly.
Of a mile, right
good.
Onto Old Georgetown Road.
Right, I'm muting it because of your GPS.
Okay, bye.
All right, so I think that we I don't know. I feel like between Ronnie, Dee Dee, and Deborah, it's like a consensus. Like, can we find like a fun thing? Like everyone picks some kind of it could be half day, like 4 hours or 8 hours, but something kind of really out of your comfort zone, like not normal, not true to you, like just to do for yourself. I don't know. I think it would be a good challenge for everybody. And I know Valerie would be totally in because she's always wanting to do stuff like that. GD, how's it going with traveling and stuff? Do you have stuff coming up or?
Yeah, I'm traveling tomorrow, but I'll be home Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you traveling to?
Arizona.
Ooh. Sedona?
No, Tucson and Phoenix.
Oh, still really nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there might be something there.
Well, so I just texted my family. My brother has season tickets to Dixie State football through his work. And so, like, I haven't been to a football game since I was in high school. And so I just texted everybody in my family this morning. I'm like, who wants to go to a football game Saturday? So that might be my 4 hours.
In a good way.
Yeah. I'm going to go have fun at a football game.
Yay. Drink a beer, eat a hot dog, throw it at the team.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions or you're good or?
I'm good.
Me too. Thank you for always making me feel better.
I'm not going anywhere. You can't. It's so cute that you think you can get rid of me. Oh, you can't.
Oh, I love you, Karen.
I adore you. Mwah. All right. So I have it scheduled for Thursday, 2:00 for the next call. Is that okay? Or do you guys like the Friday at noon better? Or I know it's not good for everybody.
Nah, I can't do it during the day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, if you need me, reach out.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I feel bad I haven't really tuned in to when Valerie is doing a session. But I really want to do it, but every time she does it, it's not with my schedule. But
do you want a one-on-one call with her?
yeah, I just feel like I need to get to know her a little bit more. I mean, she really has, good points. I just never really got to be in one of the calls.
We just talked today. She would love to reach out one-on-one. I'll have her reach out to you.
Okay.
Okay. She would love that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is always an option for you guys. So, all right. Love you guys. I will see those of you on Thursday. I will absolutely have Valerie reach out to you, Deborah. She would love to talk to you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.